Excellency, thank you for joining us on the mother of all talk shows tonight. I was talking earlier about the fact that Britain has been killing Yemenis, not only as long as I've been alive, and that's definitely true, but actually the Royal Air Force was bombing Yemen from the first year that it existed. That's quite an accolade. What exactly have you done to harm the British?
Yes, Mr. George, first of all, let me just thank you for having me in your show, and thanks to your audience. Actually, as you know, Yemeni people have suffered for almost 9 years since the war against Yemen started. So it's not the beginning of the UK and the US bombing of Yemen. Actually, they used to bomb Yemen throughout their allies or their puppets, their tools, as we can say about through the Saudis, through the Emiratis, but now they are directly engaging in a battle against people and directly bombing our territories and kill our people. Of course, it's in their perspective. They are always, acting or playing the role of the hero who saves lives, who saves humanitarian lives, who protect the principles and the democracy around the world, which in fact they are just acting aggressively against our people, just like they do with the other nations. First of all, when we started this battle against the Israeli ships in the Red Sea, to be honest, Mr. George, our position was, we got engaged in this battle from a humanitarian standpoint. We didn't engage in this battle because we want to harm others, or we want to just, bring, or we wish to bring a crisis or a new crisis to our people who are suffering from starvation, sick, and a war against them since 9 years from 2015. But when we watched, all of the world have been watching this slaughter and these crimes and this genocide against the people of Palestine, we have been in such a situation. We cannot just stand silent and do nothing towards this genocide against the Palestinian people. So our leader stood up, our people stood up. You can see millions of Yemenis are protesting the streets every week, or every Friday. They go out to the streets and just, demonstrating their rights of defending the oppressed people of Palestine. And this is the main point. We are just acting as a human. We don't want crisis in the region, but what's happening in Palestine is actually, we cannot just keep silent for what's happening in there. So we have some choices. We started launching some ballistic missiles and drones and manned drones towards Eilat, the occupied Eilat port. Some of other choices we had in the Red Sea to prevent all the Israeli ships navigating in the Red Sea and in the Arabian Sea. But what did the US and the UK do? And instead of going to the Israelis to stop their genocide, they decided to wage another war against the people of Yemen. So what we are doing is coming from a humanitarian perspective. What they are doing is aggression against our people and our nation. They prefer the war rather than going to stop this genocide. They came from overseas. They came from like thousands of miles to protect the Israelis, to support the Israelis, to support genocide, just against the Geneva Convention, the Genocide Convention, the humanitarian international law. They just, violate every single humanitarian law that has been written and drawn in the United Nations, and also within the Security Council. They voted against the ceasefire, like the US did. And now they just don't want us to step up. and do something for the Palestinian people. This is not acceptable. That's
Excellency,
why the tension is emigrating.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, and of course, understand every word. What exactly are they doing with these raids? How often are they now bombing? And what damage are they doing to the people and property of an already war-ravaged country?
Well, actually, launching an attacks to another country, like they are doing now to our country, is a breaching for the international law. This is the first thing we should know. The second thing, actually, the damage of their bombing is not that extensive because the spots they are attacking. Places that have been bombed before by the Saudis and the United Arab Emirates. There is no thinking new. And they claim that they are decreasing the capabilities of Ansarullah and the Yemeni army. And this is not also true. They killed some of our troops, some of our soldiers. 15 soldiers now have been killed by the raids of the United States and the UK, and this is not going to be passing unpunished or unanswered, of course. We will answer these attacks against our people and our territory. We didn't want actually the crisis to come to this far because the United States care for nothing but to protect the Israelis. But our people's blood is so precious. We cannot just stand and let them kill our people and just preach our sovereignty without doing anything in return. No. Before these attacks, Mr. George, the American ships, the UK ships were not a target. Now they are trying to put like a red line limit. Now they are actually broke all red line limits in front of our army forces. So now, what wasn't a target before is now a target. Why did they bring this to themselves? I don't just get it. Maybe is it more valuable to protect the Israeli ships than to stop the genocide in Palestine? No, this is not what we are aware of. What the U.S. policy is trying to show to the world. They are so brutal. They're so brutal, Mr. George. They care for nothing but to protect the genocide committer, the killer, the criminal. But when it comes to the people, and just act positively towards these oppressed people, they come and bomb their land and their country. They try to kill as many as they can of civilians of my country, but we are used to this aggressive act from the United States and the UK. They have been supporting, subsidizing, and giving all kind of weapons to the Saudis and the Emiratis to kill our people. And that during the last 9 years. Now, it's not going to be changed this way. What matters the most is the humanitarian lives today. And if they don't stop the genocide in Gaza, the tension in the Red Sea and the Arabian Sea is going to just be increased to which levels we cannot know actually. But what happened today, for example, if you heard the statement of the spokesperson of the forces, yesterday and the day before, they were targeting the ships, the Martian ships, and the vessels of the Israeli ships and the U.S. ships. Today, there were clashes between the Yemeni armed forces and the warships of the United States of America. It lasted for 2 hours, clashes for 2 hours. So the thing is that it's getting up and up. It's not getting de-escalated. If they are claiming or they want to lie to their people that they are, just de-escalating the conflict and they are just decreasing the capabilities of Ansarullah and the Yemeni army, they are lying. And I'm telling the Western people, the American people, the UK people, but throughout your window, Mr. George, politicians are lying to you. Nothing is happening as much as you can know from our side. This is what's happening in the Red Sea, in the Arabian Sea is different than is more different than what the politicians are telling you. The worst is coming up, and if you don't put pressure to your politicians to withdraw from the Red Sea and the Arab Sea, maybe some harmful changes are coming to be worse in the coming days, and we don't know until where it's going to be.
Well, the declared purpose of the mission is to degrade and diminish the fighting capability of the Yemeni people. But in truth, it is we who are being degraded and diminished by our involvement in this dirty, sordid affair on behalf of the genocidal state of Israel. Excellency, thank you for joining us. We'll regularly feature Yemeni voices as long as this crisis continues. Thanks for being on the Mother of All Talk Shows.